Ladies and gentlemen, in March 2023, something terrible happened in the Republic of Kenya. And I knew it was going to shape the 2027 presidential elections in the Republic of Kenya. Pro-government goons invaded Uhuru Kenyatta's private land in Northlands. For those who might have forgotten, around that time, Azimio were protesting. Rigathi was in government, Moses Kuria was in government, Maina Njenga was in government, and they were fully supporting William Ruto's government. Mount Kenya at that time were also still part and parcel of William Ruto's government. Azimio were protesting against high cost of living. And government believed at that time that Uhuru Kenyatta was the one funding the protest. And they made it very clear that Uhuru Kenyatta's farm was going to be invaded.
Hata hizo mashamba zenyu tutazivamia na wenye hawana mashamba wapate mashamba Kenya hii. Musifikiri ati wananchi wa kawaida ndio watapoteza mali. Even you will pay a price if you continue to instigate violence and bloodshed in this country. And that is my message to none other than Uhuru Kenyatta, the sponsor, sole sponsor, singular financier of Azimio and the mercenary that is Raila Odinga.
A few moments later.
Shake off the snake. That viper on your hand, Your Excellency. The viper, the snake in your government. Please shake it off.
And I remember at that time, fingers were pointed to several individuals, particularly to the three. Moses Kuria, because of his past association in quotes with Mungiki. Rigathi, who was the then deputy president, very powerful, and was in charge of dealing with Azimio protesters. And also Maina Njenga, who actually spoke. And also Maina Njenga, who actually spoke about these attacks. So recently, while addressing the Kikuyu nation in Boston, Rigathi accused Moses Kuria, Professor Abraham Kithure Kindiki, and Maina Njenga of funding goons to destroy the Kikuyu properties. Then Moses Kuria decided to drop bombshell. This is what Moses Kuria posted on his official Twitter handle, and it's going to form the basis of this analysis. Moses Kuria responded. This is what he said. Rigathi has accused me during his tour of the US of funding and supporting Maina Njenga. I am guilty as charged. I learned from the best. I was in the room when Rigathi paid the same people money to steal Uhuru Kenyatta's goats from Northlands. In short, what Moses Kuria is saying here is that indeed Uhuru Kenyatta's farm was raided and it was funded. But the person who gave the money was none other than Rigathi. According to Moses Kuria, he was in the same room. In fact, I'm told Moses Kuria is even threatening to release evidence, audio recordings on that particular day. Then later, Moses Kuria made another Twitter. On the 11th June 2023, I was leaving an interview at Kameme FM. On my way out, I found one Maina Njenga at the reception. He requested for a photo. That is the photo that one madman, Rigathi, is now claiming was taken last week. Relax, my friend. 2 years ago, you were calling all youths Mungiki. Now you call them Itungati. You are pathetic liar and hypocrite. I remember doing that video of Moses Kuria and Maina Njenga's encounter. And for those who follow this channel, I once opined that Maina Njenga is going to be used by the government to deal and tame Rigathi. And it's happening. But let us not get into that for now. In this video, I want us to talk about why Moses Kuria is now linking Rigathi Gachagua to the raid of Uhuru Kenyatta's private farm. Before we get into that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to David. Why do you think Moses Kuria is now linking Rigathi Gachagua to the raid of Uhuru Kenyatta's farm? Number one, I think it's about Mount Kenya kingpin politics. Who is Mount Kenya kingpin as we speak? Is that person Rigathi Gachagua? Or is that person still Uhuru Kenyatta? Because I remember last year, Rigathi Gachagua made it very clear that Uhuru Kenyatta is still Mount Kenya kingpin. Now, if Uhuru Kenyatta is Mount Kenya kingpin, and his farm was raided, and the person who ordered for that raid is none other than Rigathi Gachagua, why do you think Rigathi should be allowed to take control of Mount Kenya? So in short, what Moses Kuria is trying to say is that Rigathi Gachagua doesn't respect anybody. He can do anything and then pretend. So it's about Mount Kenya politics. So Mount Kenya will decide. And I'm looking at Moses Kuria as someone who is going to try to tame Rigathi Gachagua, especially in Mount Kenya, because Moses Kuria is also keen on becoming Mount Kenya kingpin. So that's number one. Number two is about Maina Njenga and Mungiki factor in 2027 presidential elections in the Republic of Kenya, particularly in Mount Kenya. The truth of the matter is that William Ruto has lost the mountain. But William Ruto is not going to sit there and watch Rigathi Gachagua run havoc over him in Mount Kenya. William Ruto has laid an elaborate strategy of trying to thwart Rigathi Gachagua in Mount Kenya. And the wild card is none other than Maina Njenga. Maina Njenga has beef with Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi Gachagua controls the mountain to an extent that William Ruto's allies cannot even go to the ground to campaign. That is the fact. So how will Maina Njenga come into the picture? Maina Njenga is going to come into the picture because they will be required to give support to William Ruto supporters. For example, if Kimani Ichung'wah wants to organize a rally in Kikuyu constituency today, he can't. But with the support of Maina Njenga, he can do that. And why is this important? It's important because we all know that the other day, Moses Kuria resigned from the government. And most people believe that Moses Kuria did not just resign from government for the sake of it. They believe that he resigned from government to help, number one, tame Rigathi Gachagua, and number two, to see if he can actually be a formidable candidate, presidential candidate, because Mount Kenya should have a presidential candidate in 2027. And Uhuru Kenyatta in 2007 was accused of working with Mungiki. The guy who was behind that was none other than Moses Kuria. And that is the fear. And that's why Rigathi Gachagua saw it fit to talk about it in the US. And that's why Moses Kuria is also addressing that issue here, because it's a known fact that Rigathi Gachagua actually referred to Mount Kenya youths as Mungiki. So there's going to be that Mungiki factor. Mungiki was used in Northlands. And I remember that time someone was telling me that, you saw, Lee, these guys don't know that the real owners of Mungiki is none other than Uhuru Kenyatta. That Uhuru Kenyatta can easily just mobilize them. I don't want to get into those politics. They're a bit deep. The people of the mountain understands it better. Number three, I'm also looking at this exchange between Rigathi, Moses Kuria, Kindiki, and Mungiki as Rigathi Gachagua's blunders. I don't want to purport to really love Rigathi Gachagua, no. But Rigathi Gachagua commits several mistakes. He's prone to making mistakes. One of the mistakes he's making is talking too much. Rigathi Rigathi Gachagua is in the US. The expectations for me were that he was going to address an international audience. He has turned that audience into a Mount Kenya audience, which is okay because for Rigathi Gachagua's politics, Mount Kenya is key. So he must consolidate the mountain, which is okay. But he's now making it appear as if it's too tribal. Addressing Kenyans in Boston in vernacular is ridiculous for me. But that's politics. But the blunder of accusing everybody on each and every issue as if he's the only one who is not making mistakes is a mistake in itself. Kenyans were here when Rigathi Gachagua was ordering the police to deal ruthlessly with Azimio supporters. Kenyans were here just the other day. So him accusing Moses Kuria while he was with him in the same room, while he knows that this government has a lot about him, is not working for him. In fact, it's just creating more enemies, because what I'd expected Rigathi Gachagua to do is to kind of talk like he's going to look for Moses Kuria and work with him. I'm going to try and reach out to my brother, Maina Njenga, and work with him. You know, those kind of tone. Right now, even if Maina Njenga wanted to work with Rigathi Gachagua, even if Moses Kuria wanted to work with Rigathi Gachagua, you know, even Uhuru Kenyatta, how can Uhuru Kenyatta now work with Rigathi Gachagua when he's accusing them of everything? So it just exposes Rigathi Gachagua's mistakes. And number 4, I think based on the high voltage politics Rigathi Gachagua is playing, it's not going to be possible for opposition to unite. Let's take the case of Kalonzo. Kalonzo would really want to work with Uhuru Kenyatta. Kalonzo would really want to work very closely with Moses Kuria, even Martha Karua. But with this high voltage politics, take the case of Uhuru Kenyatta. With the high voltage politics Rigathi is playing, is there anything that will persuade Uhuru Kenyatta to sit on a table with Rigathi Gachagua? If that will not happen, it would mean Uhuru is going to pursue his path, support Matiang'i. Rigathi will pursue his path, either to run alone or support Kalonzo. If they were to split the votes like that, that's how the opposition will lose in 2027. I don't want to lie to you. Those are the facts. Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, this is Makwiny. Bye-bye.